What's going on, all you Brendan Fraser enthusiasts? Your two favorite Encino men are back. We're thawed and we're back tonight. And we're reviewing the brand new Darren Aronofsky film starring Brendan Fraser. It's gotten a lot of Academy Award season buzz. It's racked up a ton of awards already. We're talking about Brendan Fraser in the A24 film, The Whale.
People are amazing.
A lot of buzz going around this film. We've been talking about this on the podcast, the last few actually, and we're all hyping this up. We're all hearing really great things about this movie. I think Kevin's the only one that's seen it. I finally got around to watching this. Wasn't playing in our area for a long time, but finally got around to seeing this before the Oscars. It's up here in a few weeks, so really excited to check this out. Huge fan of Darren Aronofsky as a director in general. He always puts out Oscar-nominated, sometimes weird films, but this one is definitely a great film all around. You know, the setup of this is Brendan Fraser playing Charlie, the morbidly obese recluse that's the English teacher, has like an online course. He's never on camera because the way he looks, he doesn't feel great about himself, has a lot of health issues, and he's trying to, fix the relationship with his young daughter, played by Sadie Sink from Stranger Things, Mad Max. And that's pretty much the setup of the film.
Yeah, he's in terrible shape. He nearly has a heart attack in the beginning. He's suffering from congestive heart failure. So his nurse, Liz, comes over, checks his vitals, and finds out that, he's had a near death experience. Basically, he can't keep going on in the current form and living the way he's, has been living and expect to survive. So he's really dealing with mortality. He knows that if he keeps this up, he's not going to be on Earth long. So he really wants to kind of reconnect with his daughter, played by Sadie Sink, Ellie, and he really wants to be in her life and let her know how important she is to him and how the things that happened, before leading up to this moment has, affected him and how sorry he was for not being there at certain times. But that's kind of the setup. He's facing this crisis. He needs to reconnect with his daughter, and throughout the movie, we slowly learn the backstory where he had a boyfriend and a partner that ended up basically dying of suicide, and it all had to do with the church that he was in and the parents. And Liz is actually his partner's sister, so they know each other outside of just being, her being his nurse. She's also the sister of his former lover, basically. And that sets up the story. It's really him trying to connect with Ellie and pick up the pieces of his life and hopefully, save his life before it's too late. Although it's not looking very good from right away. We see him masturbating to porn in the beginning, and just, basically his heart starts going crazy and he nearly dies.
Health just gets worse and worse throughout the film. And Liz is like, you need to go to the hospital immediately. His like blood pressure was like 200 and something and verge
Yeah.
of dying. He wasn't
Swelling and yeah.
swelling. Yeah. Just, he was sweaty and just disgusting, like couldn't imagine. He needs to like take care of his health and take care of his relationship with his daughter. And that's really throughout the film. You can tell they have a really terrible or lack thereof relationship, all because of him and his relationship with this man. Charlie is married to Ellie's mother, obviously, and left them for this guy, and that's why she has so much hatred towards him. And he's trying to fix that before he dies. His days are limited, only has a few days left. So he's trying to fix, 9-10 years of not having this relationship in a few days. And that's really, the setup of the relationship. It's not very good. He's trying his best. He's doing his best to fix it with his daughter and help her with her writing too for school. And she's super brilliant, but she just has so much hatred for him. But that all really changes towards the end of the film. And everybody around him, there's not many characters in this movie because he's a recluse, so he doesn't really go out. Physically can't get out. But we set up the character of Thomas, played by Ty Simpkins. We were talking about was a bunch of movies as a young kid and unrecognizable, but he plays the character of Thomas, and he's pretty fantastic.
He is. He's sort of like the Jehovah's Witness evangelist that comes door to door. One day he comes to Charlie's door and kind of sees him, how he is and how he's living, and tries to talk to him about his life and what happened and everything, and kind of get him back on the right track spiritually. And as he goes out throughout the movie and learns more and more about Charlie, you learn more and more about Thomas too and his previous home life and the things that he did wrong. And eventually he meets Ellie, Charlie's daughter, and they kind of hit it off. She gets him to sort of loosen up and, Ellie smoking pot, and, we find out that Thomas used to do the same thing, and they kind of start smoking pot together and opening up to each other, talking about their lives. And, we find out there's damage in Thomas's life too. So it's very much a story revolving around religion, severed relationships. It deals with a lot of things all at once. And it deals mainly with, the 600-pound person who just, it's a disease. It's eating away at him. He can't help himself. He just eats and eats and eats and eats to the point where, he just can't watch anymore. There's several scenes in this film where he's just gorging himself. You're watching somebody slowly kill themselves, and it's just like, just stop eating. Like, that's all you have to do. But no, he orders a couple more pizzas, goes to the candy drawer. It's really hard to watch at times in this film, led by Brendan Fraser. He's wearing a fat suit, but he really put his all into this obese character who's had a lot of trauma in his life. He's trying to reconnect with his daughter before it's too late. And, she really doesn't like him at all. So he really has a lot of work to do throughout this film. And he's able to do it by showing how compassionate he is, how much he really does care, how sorry he is, and how he really can't help himself. And you're slowly watching that unfold throughout the film. And at times it's hard to watch. It's not a very uplifting film. It's based on a play that was done. But the way Darren Aronofsky shot this keeps it pretty much, in one set the whole time. It's in Charlie's apartment. It really keeps the story focused, and with each person that Charlie comes across and you learn more, there is a little glimmer of hope at the end. But for the most part, it's kind of a depressing story, but it's a captivating performance from Brendan Fraser.
Going to a double feature here, from Cocaine Bear to The Whale. It really does kill your mood.
Yeah.
Because you got this high after watching a comedy, a fun film like Cocaine Bear, and then going right into The Whale. Slowly goes down. As you said, this is not a very uplifting movie. It's very depressing. It makes you feel uncomfortable at times, but Brendan Fraser goes to this character, really puts his all into Charlie's character, and you can see why he's nominated. Overall, I had a pretty good time with this. Not as much fun as I have with Cocaine Bear, but Whale being a completely different story and vibe, I thought it was pretty satisfying for the most part. So that being said, I'm going to give The Whale a 3.5 out of 5 Sadie's doing hair pieces.
Yeah, you definitely see why people are talking about Brendan Fraser's performance. It's definitely Oscar worthy. It's a great performance. Something that came out of left field. Brendan Fraser he's been acting lately and doing a good job for the most part, but finding a role like this for him is just crazy. And you love to see it. You love to see this guy get kudos, 20 some years, 30 years after Encino Man. This guy's been in Hollywood for a long time. He's went through some hard times, and to see him come back to form like this is just amazing to see. It's one of those movies where the performance is actually better than the whole of the movie. The performances are better than the actual movie, but it's not bad or anything, but it just puts you through the ringer. But you can see where the story's trying to go, and playing with the whale, the theme of the whale, Herman Melville, Moby Dick. They talk a lot about that. So it has to do, the title of the film has to do not only with this, 600-pound man, but also, it's talking about Herman Melville always going after the white whale and never quite catching it. He's always searching for something. But, sometimes we're looking in the wrong places. But it has to do with, family, not being able to help yourself when you have this, obesity and heart disease. And, there's people all around the world that suffer, being obese, and they just can't help themselves. And this is a really sobering look for that. And hopefully this helps a lot of people, get help that they need, and hopefully, get healthy and live a better life for your loved ones. You got people that love you, and that's kind of what this story does too. And the way Ellie and Charlie and their relationship goes throughout the story, it's really about that. And it, when you see the ending and how it ends, it all makes sense. But with that being said, I am going to give Darren Aronofsky's The Whale a 3 out of 5 Brendan Fraser hair pieces. So we want to hear from you guys. What did you guys think of The Whale? Did you love Brendan Fraser's performance as much as we did? Did you guys enjoy the movie more than we did? Let us know in the comment section below. And as always, don't forget to click subscribe. Also, check out our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for all the latest in TV and movie news and reviews. We got a lot of TV shows that are returning. The Mandalorian coming soon. We have Creed 3 coming out. We have Yellow Jackets returning. So much to talk about and so little time. We better get busy.
A lot of TV and movies coming out. So, I mean, this guy will be back talking, sharing our thoughts and everything in the entertainment business. Also playing a lot of video games as of late. So maybe one of these days we can get around to doing a video game review. I mean, this guy are also playing Hogwarts Legacy right now. So having some fun with that.
So thank you guys for watching our review of the Academy Award nominated film, The Whale. Let's go, Brendan Fraser. We're both rooting for him to take home the best actor this year. We'll see what happens, though. Anything can happen. So thank you guys for watching our review of The Whale. And until the next Cinephellas movie review, I'm Uncle Henry Fraser.
And I'm Logan Sink signing out until the next movie review. Cheers!
Cheers!